Hello everybody, welcome to a video that I'm not sure, it's a bit early for me to make this. As I did say very early on at the start, was I would give Marvel Realm of Champions 6 months. I am now month 4 since the launch and I'm already at a point where I'm going to take a break. There's many reasons that I'm taking a break. One of the biggest reasons is I'm waiting for the update of 3.0. There's not been a new champion in 4 months. I'm sure Kabam would kind of disagree with the rollout of the champions because it does take a lot longer for them to build champions within Marvel Realm as opposed to any other game that they have as a title. But that is one of the key reasons for me. Am I burnt out? I don't know. At weekends I find myself burning out, and that's the thing. So I was in a top 5 alliance. I kind of handed in my notice, so to speak, on Monday and just said, like, you know, I might come back. I don't know, because I'm just at a point where I'm just getting a little bit bored with the game, and as well it's taken a lot of my time. At the weekend I have to do about 5 hours of arena conquest grind in order to make sure that we are within the top 5 or top 4 of the kind of like the finishing results. So if you're not familiar, I don't think I can show you the kind of arena conquest because I'm not in an alliance to kind of showcase what the amount of points required is. But it's a lot. There's a lot of grind that has to be done in order to keep in the top 5. That happens. If you want to do that, you get in the top competitive alliances. But it does come to a point where I'm just a bit bored with things, and I would like some kind of like solo based kind of narrative. At the moment, you have to play with people. Got no problem with playing with people, but at the same time, it's nice to take a break from the kind of like the people-related grind and have something of a solo thing. This is a MOBA, but at the same time, I would have liked to have seen something with this game that had more of the MMO RPG elements to it, or even some of the RPG elements to it. Even from a point of going like, right, you're in these fantastic areas that have been designed, and you're like looking around and you're going on explorations, and it's, you know, it's just not there. And granted, that is not this game. If this game was a MOBA, which is kind of weird because it hasn't really been advertised as being anything. It kind of like dips its toe in various different types of genres of game, which is kind of odd. It's not quite Marvel Super War, but it's definitely not Marvel Contest, and it's definitely not League of Legends, but has elements of that. It's just, it just fools the mind. But look, you know, I've got to get back to what is my what reasons have I for kind of taking a break. And let's try and kind of like chart it. So going back to like the dev diary very late on in December or mid-December, most of the stuff that's on the board to be made are there. Apart from with legendary rating, and not to say like, I just don't know if I'm at a point where I will come back into grind out to get all my champions up to legendary and further on, especially with us having 5-star gear, which will probably come in with 3.0. And that's the thing, a lot of hopes come with 3.0 update. There's one thing that I find a little bit annoying, and that is acquisition of celestial remnants, and as well making gear sets, because that's another thing as well. Your gear setting is got to be at some point like gear set 1, gear set 2. That's got to be a given. There will be some pieces and elements that you're like, okay, well, I like this piece of gear because it gives health and that's helpful for this, but at the same time I need this for this that interworks with synergy. We've got passives in at the moment, and some passives are good, some passives are just go, what's the point of that being in there? But yeah, the transmog system and getting some gear kind of things, you know, that is something that I still want to see from this, where you kind of go, okay, well, I've got these all kind of like weird gear, my character looks just weird, so the transmog system, which I hope comes in at some point, is, but that's a cosmetic thing. That's nothing that really kind of blends into what are my current kind of things. And it's just a case of going, if you go into top alliances, you'll be burnt out. I would lose my weekends pretty much. I think I'd lose about 9 hours of my weekend, which means I wasn't preparing content for the foreseeable week. And I was just finding I wasn't really getting much back from it. I was and wasn't. Like, I've picked up a lot of rares from doing that kind of competitive edge of grinding. So that's nice. But and it comes with the territory. You get, it's good to say, hey, you pick up a load of epic gear, a load of 4-star gear, and that's fantastic. Look at all that. Isn't that great? but at the same time, it does come a cost to you and you know, your time, especially when things don't seem to be that fun. And also like the way that the meta teams are just, it's all about, I mean, I can moan about meta teams, but it's all down to good strategy. But it's all the same. It's like going, hey, who's that enemy? Oh, it's a Hulk and 2 Spider-Men. Oh, look at that team. It's a Hulk, it's a Spider-Man, and an Iron Man. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, you're going to be rooted, stunned, and SP3'd by the laser shooting Iron Man. Great. That's fun, isn't it? That really shows that people, and that's why I think Kabam have put in some of those different type of conquests, going like, okay, what is everybody using? Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man. Oh wait, no, there's a Hulk in the team with fists. Yeah, great. It's original, isn't it? It's original team combinations. And I know people will say like, oh, well, people use other combinations. Yeah, but it's like predominantly if there's what you see, especially with stuff like that. But there could be other variations like, okay, we'll use a Black Panther in order to kind of like do the SP3 stand in place, or you could be using something when it comes to SP1. Look, it's just what I see more commonly, and people kind of like do touch up on that and the meta team of setup. But again, it's just like, it's not really a frustration. It's just one of these observations of going like, okay, well, why isn't could Arena Conquest be changed in a certain way that kind of allows for more of a change up of narrative of play, but then, you know, that undermines the grind. It's just trying to spice up something that's ultimately just a little bit meh. And the thing that also comes hand in hand with meh is the matchmaking. The matchmaking for me is going to be some of the worst matchmaking that this game has put together. I still don't know why they put bots in such a competitive based content. If you're doing bots in something that's competitive and players lose out as a result, and going, hey, we'll queue this solo playing player with 2 bots and a team that has a better gear rating, is an actually well-gelled team, and we've paired you up with these 2 bots, which have no idea what they're doing. Kabam may believe that these bots are kind of coded in a certain way that kind of perform well enough. But that's the thing, isn't it? Would you, and I think more commonly, people would choose the player over the bots, even if the 2 players, even if it results in a loss, at least to say that like equal amounts of like, say, 30% apiece that you did of damage. You just go, okay, well, at least it was that, rather than saying you're doing 40 to at least 50, upwards of 60% of the damage, and the bot is literally doing all the stuff. Yes, players are dumb at times, but at least to say that they won't rush in, because that's what bots are doing, rush in as a single champion and getting themselves just completely mullered by 3 characters. And it just doesn't work. And that's the thing. I just don't think that the bots should be in at the point of defender tier and upwards. And if you have to queue longer for a team, you have to queue longer for a team. It just means that the person that is felt hard done by is not screwed over. And the players that are kind of synchronized as a team more than likely will get a team to grind out and kind of play against. Marvel Realm as well hasn't had that like big impact, especially if you kind of look in the YouTube scene. A good test for the extent of like how a game does very early on is how a fan base resonates with it. And we've had other games that mobiles are very difficult and very kind of like odd thing to crack when it comes to success. I think Marvel Future Revolution will be the further test when that game is launched, how well things do. And you just have to look as far as like YouTube on things. And there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of like ways that Kabam could do better with just kind of like bigging up YouTubers, streamers and stuff, because at the end of the day, they can put stuff in Discord, but if you're not using your social media to go like, hey, Joe Blogs is streaming right now, and like, you know, the more people that stream Marvel Realm, the more people that are watching it and, you know, encouraged for it. If people are interested, then they'll watch. But it just looks like with the number side of things that people aren't interested. Because you look at the view side of things, like you expect like a video like this Thor one here, how to unlock Thor in Marvel Realm of Champions, like, which is could people say it's bait? Possibly. Could people say that that's obviously fabrication, it's not true, but still, it's baitable enough for people to pique interest. And in 5 days, for it to be 275 views, just kind of like shows where this game is at. You know, got Unstable Gamer who plays this game. I've fed up a couple of times with him. He's a good dude. But as well, like putting like my top 5 concerns, and again, like people just aren't coming out for interest in this stuff to a great amount. Even like Marvel Rama Champions posted stuff is like 4.4k views. And look, I'm not going to get wound up or kind of like talk about like, oh, the views are kind of like important for this game. But it is when you're going to like get hype around this game, get people interested in this game, and as well coming out to not just watch, just interact, but also just kind of like play the game, which is another thing, you know, entirely. There's various different factors to this, and it all plays a part to the digital presence, the marketing presence, and yeah, just the interest of coming to the game. Now, what are the expectations around 3.0? Because look, it's going to be the most major update so far, and hopefully will kind of rekindle a lot of players' interest in the game. So doesnt has put here like some of the stuff that's between what we saw in the dev diary and some stuff that's been there, which is Thor with 2 weapons, Mjolnir and Yamborn. New weapons for Spidey, that's the wrong thing then. Sorcerer Supreme, Hulk possibly, but in reality I think we'll only get weapons for Spidey and Sorcerer Supreme. The next update we'll get one for Panther and Hulk. New PvP map, possibly 2 for Arena Conquest. New legendary rating. New tier legendary gear. This might be pushed to 3.0 depending on the player base. That's true. Some type of new game mode, 100% alliance mode, or just a new game mode, which is something I said about. Alliance leadership, loadout system, which I think is important to switch between 2 different types of gear. One build, one different build, because you know you never know what content you're going up against. You might go up against one guy like, okay, well this story mode stuff requires me to be in this set as opposed to that set, and that's what people can build. Transmog, yeah, as well, I guess there could possibly be 2 new champs if Kabam push. I don't think they'll do that. I think it'll just be 1. But yeah, like there just needs to be like something else like PvE. I mean, yeah, like Blast is saying here, saying Thor, new Black Mirror weapon, but similar PvE content. As long as it's not just another world quest, just there needs to be something that's permanent, grindable, even from a point of just like it's story mode, or you know you can do stuff in it. So that's what I'm hoping with 3.0, and that's where I think I'm gonna like leave things with this. Like, I do enjoy Marvel Realm of Champions. It is a really good game, but there are a lot of fundamentals that feel like they should have been in at the start, especially when it came to the player base. The just initial pop of people coming to check out the game was great, but very quickly players were just putting it down. And that's the thing. If you want to capture people in the first 12 months of the game, you got to like go ham on it. Not have that kind of like quick burnout. And I'm talking like as soon as people picked up, like December was an amazing month for this game. And then after that, the January decline, the February decline, the March decline, and then the April decline, to a point where even I said I'm going on a break. And there are players like within the space that have just taken breaks. They've taken on back burner. They're incredibly casual with the game now. And that's the thing. Kabam need to hit it out of the park. I hope they do, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to get mad about this game. I'm not going to get salty about this game. I haven't put any money into the game, and that's the thing. Like, stuff needs to be in place. This feels like a continuation of a beta, which is just not being dealt with. And I understand from Kabam's perspective, they may go, it takes longer, and I appreciate that, but the difference is between you seeing your numbers for downloads, you seeing your numbers for active concurrent players in the game is another thing entirely. So make it work, make it happen, make 3.0 better, and I will be rocking some other games on this channel in the future. So I'll probably be doing League of Legends Wild Rift, which follows the same narrative, maybe some other games as well, see what people are interested in and take it from there. It'll be more of a kind of an eclectic variety channel in the future as we see what happens with 3.0. I'll be back for it to kind of like say, number 1, what are the updates that Kabam are doing? And number 2 will be to kind of like check out some kind of content from it, and possibly, more than likely, rejoin back with the previous alliance that I was with. But, you know, we just don't know. I just don't know if it's going to be good enough. We are waiting in purgatory, limbo, until something new is added or interest is there. So yeah, that's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. What are your thoughts on Marvel Realm? I know a lot of you that come to the comments section do say that you have moved away from the game. So we'll try and find something in the future to put in to kind of, you know, a new game on the channel. But thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. See you soon. Bye-bye.